Everybody has that friend that just doesn't improve. Like, you check on them today and they're like 700. You check the rating next year and they're 720. Maybe 600. But why do some persons find it difficult to improve while others are just getting ratings like it's free? I'm going to be giving you guys in this video the chess hacks. It has helped me from beginner levels, guys. Like every chess master was once a beginner, and yes, guys, I am a chess master today and I still use this. It is a life hack, guys. For chess, just do this. I'm going to be spelling it all in this video, so take notes and let's get right into it. First on the list, guys, if you see a good move in chess, look for better. Now, everybody hears this. Who is implementing it? Nobody. It's gonna be like a case where, all right, I know that I'm supposed to do this, but then when you play your game, you're back to square one. You just play your own thing. If you're playing chess, all right, you have natural moves. Example, I could want to castle my king as black here. Again, persons are going to watch this video, go back to their game and just go back to old habits. But even though I see this first, I'm like, all right, I don't practice automatic moves, so I'm about to castle. Is there better? And I check my forcing moves, especially into this area of the board. Example, my checks, my captures, my threats. And the thing is, persons don't even have tactical awareness to know like when there's actually a tactic on the position. I'm going to be going more into detail, but this move, knight takes e4, all right? Just giving you guys a quick tactic. After bishop takes e7, if your first instinct is to take on e7, good. Your thought process is supposed to look like this. I will not auto recapture this bishop. I'm looking for better. It might not be the best move, but I'm looking for better. It's the thought process that is going to help you guys with growth. So I'm looking for moves like queen check, like what happens here. Like again, moves up the board, check your forcing moves. If it doesn't work, then and only then I take after. Alright? Let's see that white takes. Last example, guys. So in terms of like this, your block, you see queen to h4. You're about to play it. Take a step back and be like, alright, that wins a pawn or something, but wait, before I play it, is there better? No, there's always or most times gonna be tactics when there are hanging pieces. So like this move, queen to b4 basically just wins a piece. It's a check and a double, basically like a double attack, winning this bishop and the game. All you need to do is to focus on better moves. Now, you will not find the best moves 100% of the time, but you're training yourselves to actually look for better. And over time, this plays a big role in your chess improvement. Again, guys, if you were seeing the best move all of the time, you would be stockfish. So you have to train yourself that, again, the first move you're seeing most of the time is not going to be the best. Train yourself to spot better and you will improve. Let's get into the next one. All right, it's black to play in this position. What would you play? And this alone will tell me if you're going to improve or whether you're going to be staying stuck. Because again, the difference between the persons who are improving and the ones who are staying stuck, the ones who are improving are implementing the right stuff, guys, like this. It's black to play. What would you play? All right, for persons who are about to like you know what, Raheem, this is also super obvious. I'm going to take the queen and then take the rook. And then I'm up a piece and shuru. Rubbish, right? Now, this is the thing with chess players today. They only start thinking when they're losing. Like, as you can see to the left side of the screen here, white is absolutely going to be taking black out of his misery. You can see that there's a king in the center of the board and everything is going to go haywire for black. Why only think when you're losing? Like if you see a good move in chess, like all right, I'm about to take this rook in the near future, but that's my first instinct. I know that I'm on the path to improvement, so I need to look for better. Now here, this move, knight to e3, is a double check. Knight and queen is basically giving a check at the same time. This is a check that cannot be blocked. It is super powerful. And just like that, guys, the queen has been won. Now, you guys can actually see this, but you don't give yourself the chance to see this. All right, you cannot just play like it's like you guys are on autopilot. Like, guys, even for me, the minute I discovered this superpower, whatever you want to call it, this hack, just implement it. Don't just watch this and then go back to your games and go back to automatic moves. Watch this and actually implement it. All right? I hope you guys got this one. Let's get into the next one. This is your last chance to actually lock in, guys. Now, after this, I'm going to be going into hack number 2. The second most important thing that persons are not implementing, which are keeping them stuck. So it's black to play, and he just did the move. Q takes D1. What would you play as white? Now, we have what we call natural moves. For everybody who is like, rook takes D1 and, bring a rook to a file, nothing is wrong with thinking of the move, okay? But you could be throwing away wins. Like example, black would just take your bishop and then move his knight. Everything is completely solid, defended, and there's no advantage. If you take the step back, and this is also the reason why, so again, if it was blitz, this is also played on autopilot in most games, which is why it's not really the best for improvement. When I say this again, because you're playing so much automatic moves in blitz, it's not really the best for improvement. It's not anything wrong. There's basically nothing wrong with it, but if you want to like build the skills, you work on the longer time formats first and then work your way up. But if you guys found bishop takes d1, well done. Now these moves are not natural, which is why you need to take some time to find them. Okay? See a good move, look for better. And we're basically going to go into hack number 2. So persons who are wondering, bishop takes d1, do we A, play an automatic move and recapture, or do we B, we zoom out and look for better? So we have this, pawn takes f6. Basically now we have 2 pieces under attack. And after black takes ball, then and only then we take. And if you count the material, white is basically up a extra knight. Just do this, guys. Let's go. Hack number 2. Take notes. Oh, and for persons wondering what happens if black doesn't take the bishop and just simply like moves his knight at his under attack as well, then you just take his bishop. Making sure to get this one out of the way. Let's go. Alright, next hack. How to actually calculate in chess. Now, white just found this brilliant move. Rook takes b4, even giving a discovered check towards the king and is about to win the queen. But got surprised because black made a counter brilliant and played this move bishop to d5. What would you play in this scenario for white and why? Now, you guys know how again, if you've been watching my channel for a while, how I solve tactics. If the first thing I'm like scanning for are like unprotected pieces. If there is not an obvious tactic though, then we go into calculation mode, which is our checks or captures or threats. So remember, at the lower levels, it's mostly just hanging pieces. You just scan the board for those. The higher you go up and you get into more complex stuff, so you have to start to utilize your forcing moves. Now for the basically the average view, they basically just start like reacting. So they start taking the bishop, or they're like, all right, he attacks my queen, I take his queen, he takes my queen, and we shake hands. It's 4 pawns each. Nothing is wrong with this, all right? But the same thing, the rule that you just learned, just if you see a good move in chess, look for better, everything applies. But when it comes down to calculation, I am checking my forcing moves first, starting off with my checks. Now, at the lower levels, you don't have to be trying to master everything at once, which is, oh my God, what are all my checks? What are all my captures? What are all my threats? You can basically start off like super simple. For me, it was just a case where I was only focused on checks at the start. I was like, all right, I might not be able to find all tactics, but I will not miss a tactic if it includes a check at the start. So for you guys, again, if you're at the lower levels, you could focus on the forcing moves that involve checks and then build it from there. This is one is it, bishop to e6, and that alone changes the position. So example, if black takes this piece, then queen takes, and we simply win the queen on b5. All right. Next one again. And after bishop to e6, if he doesn't take and he moves his king, then we take the queen. So by us simply basically just adding bishop to e6 on the board, white is up a whole piece. But why are persons missing this? It is because of their thinking systems. Make sure that you have the right one to elevate your gameplay. We're going into the next one. Now, I keep telling you guys that there are two sides to chess. You have the information side and the practical side. Make sure that you have a balance in both. It's black to play in this scenario. What would you play? Guess what? Books won't save you in scenarios like this. White wants the entire F file, and you have to rely on skill. What are your skills in chess? Let's say that right now you know that things are going to be getting super ugly, and you have to start looking for a tactic. The average ELO player doesn't do the basic stuffs. They try to get super complex, and they're like, all right, I am black, what do I do? Do I trade rooks? What do a chess master simply looks at the position and is like, all right, I'm looking for a tactic. What are my forcing moves? What are my checks? And the thing is, again, once you're starting off, you could start off with just check tactics, and you check it 3 moves deep. This move, for most persons, you just look at one move, they're like queen takes g2, and their brain stops there. You have to learn to look further. Train yourself, again, as the skill. After takes, then rook takes f1 and the game is done. Like if this blocks, then we simply take. And I know that you guys are terrified of knights. In scenarios like this, trust me, you'll be even more terrified. Knight check, and we're winning the queen. So black will be up a whole rook in this scenario. Let's take a step back. After this queen takes g2, rook takes g2, and rook takes f1. What happens if white doesn't block? The same thing. After king to h2, knight to f3 check forks the king and the queen. And just like that, you will be up and exchange in this scenario. But the thing is, I keep telling you guys again that you need to, if you have basically like a goal of 2000, you have to start thinking like those persons. You have to build the skill. Don't tell yourself that, oh my God, I would never see a move like that, and then wonder why you're staying stuck. You have to train yourself. Ensure that you're doing things to actually train yourself to start thinking like this. All right? The right thinking systems put in place gets you to your goals. Welcome to the final chess set that you guys are going to be learning today. And this one is called middle game planning. So, in today's generation of chess, a lot of persons are just looking for opening traps and not trying to actually understand how to really form a plan in chess. Like their idea of a plan is to go on YouTube, look at like some lines and like, all right, if this happens, I play this. If this happens, I play this. And then, when they're on their own, it's just chaos. They start blundering like crazy because they don't understand middle game planning. In this scenario, what would you play as white and why? So there are levels to this. There are basically short-term plans and long-term plans. I'm going to be diving a little bit into both. So for persons wondering, if you're looking at the board and you don't see an obvious tactic, like you can't win anything, there is not any hanging pieces, not any forcing moves like to actually, give a check and win the game in several moves. You need to start preparing yourself for those tactics, which is getting pieces to good squares. Tactics comes when your pieces are active. You cannot have a tactic with passive pieces. So you need to switch them from defensive to aggressive. But how do we do this? And that's where planning comes in. Now, depending on your level, I will take different answers. If you're anywhere below 1000, any rook to the C file is good. Because guess what? We're moving a piece from a very defensive role. Because, in other words, this rook can't give a tactic. It can't do any tactics. It's just passive. You switch it to like a very aggressive role, that's good. That is how I started out when I was on the path to again improving. So first, you learn the skill and then you learn to master the skill, guys. So I'm like, today, I see rook to c1 and I'm like, all right, that looks like a good move. I'm about to play the move and then I start to look for better. So I'm like, all right, what's the plan? That solves my rook. This piece is also bad. How do I solve my bishop? Pawn to b5. All right? This, to the average eyes, looks like a random pawn move. To persons who have been more advanced into planning, they are basically understand the purpose of each move that they play. So pawn moves must help your position. Example, the difference between somebody who is planning, this one is like pawn to b5, trying to, if you play pawn to b5 to just push a pawn, that's bad. Example, let's say that black plays h6 and looks at the engine and is like, yay, I didn't blunder a piece after they basically analyzed the game. This could be ruining your chess long term because you're making moves and not even understanding why those moves are played. Try to perfect or basically increase your level of understanding when it comes on to middle game planning. So now we at a4 and look at this. Already threats, guys. Bishop to a3 is planning to win an exchange. We switched the bishop from defensive to attacking. This is how you force blunders from your opponent. And again, at the level that you're at, for most persons just don't even see attacks. But just showing you again, you can be pushing your opponent's pieces backwards while improving yours. You try to get pieces into this area of the board. The more pieces you have in aggressive formations, putting pressure on that area of the board, you're going to be forcing your opponents to collapse. Look at this. I'm like my bishop. If you put your rook on the c file and control some lines, it's just activity, guys. It's middle game planning. You could also play moves like knight to e4 or knight to c4. It doesn't even matter. Attacking the d6 square. Once you're improving your pieces, tactics will come. Put pressure on your opponents. Like you could take a very passive position, like something that looks completely dry, and switch it into an attack if you have the right mindset, the right understanding of what to do in each scenario, the skill that you guys need to start building. All right, I'm going to throw in a bonus tactical puzzle to end it there. So let's go, guys. Welcome to the most complex chess position for some eyes. White just took an f4 and it's just chaos now, guys. Remember, when you're going into calculation mode, what do we check first? I'm going to be telling you in a sec, but you're supposed to already know the answer. No automatic moves for everybody here who wanted to take the queen. Nothing is wrong with it, but practice to look for better. In this exact scenario, it's just the fact that, black's rook is going to get trapped. Basically, yeah, the rook is cooked, guys. Like, pawn to h3, oops, and that rook has nowhere to go. No, chess doesn't have to be so complex if you have the right thinking system. No persons here on a normal basis, they would just start panicking. They're like, oh my god, everything is hanging. What do I do? Do I take this? Do I trade the queens? After today, once you're going into calculation mode, you're going to rewire your thinking system and just look for your forcing moves. Checks, captures, threats. For beginners, just stick to checks and work your way up. Just make sure that you're not missing check tactics. Example like this one, queen to h3 check, and then you take the queen after, and just like that, white is lost. Simplify your thinking system. It's going to help you again when you're trying to improve, especially in chunks, guys, with your ratings. If you found this video useful, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again for watching, guys, and see you again another time. Also remember to look out for your hanging pieces. Don't hang anything. Take care.